So, welcome back to Ignite, the podcast. Today, we have none other than Ahmed Belloso, the man of the hour on the tira. If you don't know who he is, stay tuned. This is going to be fire.
On the tira.
Yeah, I wear shirts like that too that say Christ. Like, I have the Christ in cars. I have like, a bunch of different things that also give message out. I had one when I was younger that said, I don't seek religion, I seek Jesus, right? What do you think changed? Because you said you had it in the closet for a year.
I'm proud to be amongst people who believe, bro. Now, because I before, like, I wanted to believe, but like I didn't believe, because I didn't see nothing. Like I said, I was blinded by my own ways, right? But today I know now that in this life, no matter how much we give it, God always puts somebody in front of you to help you to get to where you want to be, right? And so I'm not that talented. I don't own no mics. I don't have no beautiful platform like this, but you
It's
do.
nothing. This is nothing.
But what I'm saying is, God put you in my life for a reason, right? And so, He gives me what I can't, or what I don't have. He blesses me because here we are. And so now I just give it because I don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I could be anywhere else, down, bad. I've been there. I have tracks on my arm, and I'm not afraid to show them, bro. I got brothers who are homeless right now. I got sisters who are deported. I got family who's illegal. I got, there's drugs and alcohol that run them in everywhere. Like, so I found my peace, bro, because if I just give myself to the world, bro, I'll be surrounded by hatred, negativity, illness, and death, and this and that. And I've been having that since the day I was born. And I just think it's time that I seen or I heard somebody said that life is what you make it. I just heard that today or
Yeah.
yesterday.
Make of it.
Life is what you make it. I think, you know who it was? Seinfeld. Out of all people, he popped up on my thing. And you know what Seinfeld said? He said that if you paid attention to your craft and you just try to be the best person at what you do and forget everything else, bro, you be up here, you wouldn't even realize that everybody be screaming your name, but you don't pay attention because you're too busy trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what I'm doing, bro. And I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. I watch myself. I watch my tongue. I watch my actions. I'm a man too. I got temptations too. I feel pain and I got addictions and I got mental and I got everything you got. The thing that I got now is that I have some kind of sense. I have God in my life that I just do not let anybody trip me anymore. Like anybody could come up to me and spit in my face and the old me would, give you that and more back. And now I'm to the point that I'm just like, dang, that's sad that you feel the need to have to spit in somebody's face. But I would never spit in your face, bro. And that's fine. God bless you. And I'll turn my cheek. And if you spit in that one too, then I know. But I already knew to begin with. So it's like it's just confirmed, bro. And I think that when people finally realize that there's good people out there, and when you become a good person, more good people come to you. And it's like today I'm surrounded by so many good people, bro. Like really good people, like I said, who lift me up. And and this is God's honest truth. No great person in history has ever made it on their own, bro. Not one.
Not
Show
one.
me one that made it to the top on their own without God and without an advisor and without help and without parents and money and just status and just everything. So if you think you're that great, you probably are, but you're nothing without God, bro. And that's just what it is. And I learned that. I learned that today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I learned that every day. Every day I learn it. I wake up at 5 in the morning, and I go live with my people. It's like church. And it's a positive message, and it's growth, and it's opportunity, and it's teaching people how to build a business and a brand and how to watch the things that you say because what you put out is what you get back. And
100%.
if you can't tame your tongue, then how can you tame your home? If you can't tame your home, how can you tame your job and you can't tame nothing. You gotta start within, and within means God, bro. That's that voice. At least this is what I tell myself.
Yeah.
I tell myself that voice in my head is my conscience, and that conscience is God telling me, you know better, you know better. And now, today, I finally listen to the voice of reason in my head. which has always been there, and it's always been God, bro, every time. And so I just understand that now. So that's what it is. Today I wear my Jesus shirt proudly, because
So,
I'm not ashamed anymore. And
and and
whoever don't like it or agree with it, then God bless you.
and that's crazy because it's also what the shirt says. The way, the truth, and life, and that's why we're here today. As a matter of fact, is because I invited you over because you're real.
Mm,
You're the truth.
mhm,
People, you talked about this before, where people think that, oh, you're a Christian now, or you're saved, so now you're perfect. It's like,
mhm,
no, it's not that we're perfect. We're far from perfect.
mm-mm,
It's the fact that we know better, and we're saved. We're already saved by grace. We know that, through having faith, Jesus helped us and has changed us inside out, like you just said. Because I was the same way. I was like, somebody would, I was a peleonero, I was a fighter growing up. Every single school, I went to 4 different high schools, two different junior highs, and let's forget about the elementaries, because I was the one that I grew up and at a young age in the project. My dad put me to fight,
mm.
and he was like, people were picking on you. I come home crying. He's like, no, I'm gonna go out there. One day he came to school after school. He was there with me, and he pulled the 3 kids that were picking on me. Oh, where are they? Right here, in front of a house, in front of in the lawn. He's like, who? These 3? Okay, come here. Each one of you are going to fight my son right now, but a one-on-one, one of you guys, because you guys going to keep picking on him. You're going to fight him. So my dad taught me. He was like, you're going to fight. I didn't know how to fight. He just threw me up there. He's like, you got to
Mm.
fight. You got to defend yourself. And so I defended myself. Right. And so after that, those kids never picked on me. But my dad gave me a rule. He said, from now on, anytime in the future, you give somebody a chance, they do something to you, you tell them, let them know. Second time, you tell them again, hey, I've already warned you twice. Third time, no more talking. Just start swinging. And so I live literally like my younger days like
At
that.
least your dad taught you how to fight.
Yeah,
My dad never taught me. I didn't have a dad.
yeah, my
So
dad was.
I never knew how to fight, you know?
I had to learn to
I
fight.
still don't know how to fight.
Yeah, I had to
Like, I'm
learn
gonna
to
keep it
fight.
honest.
Yeah,
Like, that's another reason why I'm nice today.
yeah,
Because I have no fight in me, bro.
yeah.
I didn't have a fight in me when I was a child. I didn't have a fight in me even when I was in prison and when I was in the prison riots. I did, like, I was a workhorse.
Yeah.
I moved like everybody else. So there was no alarms, but I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to be there. Every time the yard went down, you know, bro, like, fear is a natural thing. I wanted to go home.
I
And
got you.
so for anybody to sit there and say they were never scared, okay, well, God bless you,
I
bro.
know that's
You're a
not
better
true.
man than me. But what I'm saying is that thank God that some of us had those opportunities. But today I think I learned now better. I learned now how to move because of my mind. I wasn't a fighter,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
my ass beat a lot. And I finally just got tired of it. And it's true what they say that the pen is mightier than the sword, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And today I'm 49. I was 45 years old when I sobered up. Finally, right?
Wow.
My life started after sobriety, bro. I've never even gotten close to any goodness like I'm doing today. Anytime yeah, no, I've been a homeowner before. This is not my first time. I've been married. This is my third, like, come on, I've been divorced twice. I've had new cars. I had new this, and all of that, none of that lasted because I had no foundation, bro.
Yeah,
My marriages failed. My son was calling another man dad because I had no roots. I was in prison thinking I was building roots in there.
yeah,
And everything, you can't build roots in concrete. And so, finally it took my road through addiction. 25 years I was a heroin addict. I've been in the streets. I've been homeless myself. I think that saved me is that I did long stretches of incarceration. So
took you away from the addiction. You think at that
no, I
time?
was addicted in there
In
too.
there
But
too.
the thing is that there's a lot more out here. So I could have dusted my brain out here easily if I would have been out, but I
Yeah,
wasn't. I was in there, so I was still getting high, but I was just doing less,
yeah. You
and
were
so
limited.
I was limited.
Hmm.
So, and not
Yeah,
only that, in there it's a lot different than out here. So
yeah,
in there you got to pay for everything you play.
yeah,
So it gets expensive, right?
yeah,
And then, but man, I was a very good addict, bro. I was good at what I do. The thing about me is I educated myself because I knew that I was gonna do long stretches of time, And I knew that one day I would be sober. I knew that one day I would be free. I knew that one day I would need a job.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I would be in my 40s when I got out. So like I'm thinking this in my teens, bro. In
So
my
in between, you were studying or doing stuff in there
I
también?
read encyclopedias. I read the Bible. I read my daily bread. You know, my proverbs, and I read books on engineering and museums and Newsweek and people. And I read anything I could get,
Yeah.
right? Because it took me away from where I was at. And bro, I read the entire encyclopedia, A to Z, literally
Yeah.
A to Z, and the index and the maps and the world. So you could point out, you could tell me any country in the world, where I'll tell you exactly where it's at within like 3 seconds, bro. 2 seconds. Because I filled my head with all this knowledge, and I didn't even know that I was just preparing myself for the future. Because even as a child, I remember the first time I was in juvenile hall. It was like Easter of 1993, bro. I was like 14 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And the Isley brothers came to visit us in the juvenile hall. They were Christians,
Yeah.
and they came, and it was Easter Sunday, and they brought all of us out, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna give you a little concert by the Isley brothers." So we're like, "All right, cool," you know. And then all they did was talk about God. All they did was talk about how they were saved and God bless you. And then, and man, I was like, what's up between the sheets? And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Simon.
was in tripping on his message, bro. And it made me mad because I wasted my Sunday thinking I was gonna get a concert, and I'm over here in church. So I left. They sang us some songs, but it was like whatever. Dude, I think about that today, and I'm like, them men didn't have to come. That was their time. I'm sure nobody paid them.
Yeah.
Nobody paid them. They got in their car, they came, they set up, they performed for us. And I was just so ungrateful because I wanted what I wanted. And today, right? Fast forward 30 years, I go into the jails, I go into the county, I go into these facilities. I talk to kids who've been trafficked, I talk to addicted kids, I go to the boys' clubs, I go to the juvenile hall. I mean, I've been in every juvenile hall, Southwest, San Bernardino, Gilbert Street, Orange County. I've been in Imperial Valley. I've been everywhere, bro, inside, talking to these kids. And I'm like, I know there's a kid in there that felt like there's a little Ahmed in there. So I'm like, man, get the hell out of here. I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna perform or something for
Yeah.
me. And you're over here
Exactly.
talking about God. And it's
Yeah.
like, dang. So, but it's true. You said something earlier, the seed. You know, I didn't know that these men were planting these seeds in my mind, in my heart. And I was watering them throughout my life, but it still didn't take fruit. It didn't
Yeah.
until just recently. I had to lose it all, bro. Really, when I really started like taking care of my plant, you know, like that's
Yeah.
my plant. I really started tending to my garden and taking out the weeds, and I cut out all the people out of my life that were bad, and I cut out my dealer, and I sobered up, and my ex-wife married another vato, and everything was good. And today, bro, I look at it like it couldn't be anything other than God, because I'm not that good.
Yeah.
You see what I do? If I'm left to my own vices, I end up in prison, tracks down my arm. You know what I mean? Getting in trouble,
Yeah.
cheating and stealing, and bro, I take. I'm good at taking. I take anything. Like nobody would ever invite me to a beautiful place like this because they wouldn't trust me. Why would they? And I think that now today I proved, and that's a good feeling, bro. Because once you prove it, it's hard to. If you discredit yourself, you never get it back. And so I'm like, God bless me, bro, and He forgave me, and I think everybody sees it now. Like, this was not a threat,
Yeah.
right? And the world is opening up, and I'm just allowing it. I'm not even doing nothing. Like the breeze just brought me in here, bro, and the breeze is gonna take me out, and wherever the day takes me, I'm good.
People can tell. I think once you've been around the game for so long, you talked about your game, whether it's the streets or whether it's business or whatever it is.
Mm,
I know both. You know both now that you're in business for yourself. I've been doing this for 25 years. And prior to that, I know the streets. Been
mm-hmm,
in juvenile hall, all these situations as well. And real recognizes real.
mm-hmm,
People say it, but they really don't mean it. And I understand it. And I can talk to you. And remember when we first started talking, I'm like kind of interviewing in a sense, and we're
mm,
talking, just kind of chopping it up. But it's me really getting to know who you are and how real you are.
mm,
Is social media is fake. Let's be
Mhm.
real. Social media is fake. And so people aren't real. People
Mhm.
are different than who they are on there. I'm like, let me see if this guy's real, you know? Let's see if we can actually really, have a conversation and if he's really a believer, right? Because it's easier to say the name of God in vain. People use it all the time.
Can't
Oh,
serve two
Jesus.
masters.
People say
I say
Jesus.
it all the time. You
People say
cannot serve two
Jesus Christ
masters.
all the time and don't understand the impact of that name. But it's how you say it, right? And so it's all that to say that people like you come a point in life where people are going to recognize who you truly are
Mm.
and they're going to see you. And I always pray, and I was praying this just the other day. I pray that God gives me the eyes that He sees through, not the ones that
Mhm.
I see through. I didn't care for the homeless.
Mhm.
I'm being transparent. I was like, hey, I'm from Mexico. We're from one of the poorest places. Like,
Mhm.
I've seen people, live in cardboard boxes and not have the money, have their children, all these little ones, selling chicles, right? And
Mhm.
just trying to survive. I'm like, so I see a homeless out here or an addict or someone. I'm like, I don't feel bad for you. Like just a choice you made, right? That was me, my thought. But when I asked God to show me and let me see it through His eyes, I own a business. You visited one of them, right? And homeless comes in, a homeless lady, older lady comes in, super hot outside. She comes in, she sits down in the waiting area, and sweaty as can be. And all I can think of is getting her a glass of water,
Mhm.
cold water, and making sure that she's okay. It took me a minute when I went and did that, and then went to the restroom, and I came back out, and I'm like you don't fail me, you show me every time I ask you to show me something, and you show it to me. That old me would have been like, hey, I need you to get out of here, or hey, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think you said it. You prayed about it.
yeah,
You recognized the problem and you prayed about it and you listened to that voice in your head because for whatever reason you knew that wasn't you or you didn't feel right. And so I do the same thing, bro. Today, I pray for everything. I prayed before I came here. I prayed for, man, people ask a lot of me. And sometimes my decisions are, and if I'm putting them out there on social media, like that's a lot of people. I have a lot of followers.
it is.
And so it's a sense of responsibility that I feel I had that I try to put out at least the most correct or heartfelt, honest, integrity, all those things because there's too much fluff out there and
Uh,
and too much watered down. I like, you know what? This is like the real fruit here, bro. The
yeah,
real fruit off the tree, the sweet stuff,
yeah,
not the byproduct. So at least here on the tira,
yeah,
ignite, you're gonna get the real fruit.
hundred
And
percent.
if you want it, there it is, homie. And if you don't, hey dog, I
I'm
got
all
more
right with it.
fruit here. Like
hundred
there's
percent,
plenty for me.
100%.
And there's so much that there's more for anybody. That if you want it, come get it. But don't like just, come pick your fruit, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
I love that. It's all love. At the end of the day, it's all love. Like, and here's the thing: I always tell people, you can't be. We're not gonna be in the limelight, or we're not gonna be on social media or everywhere we're at and not be hated. It's not gonna happen. It comes with the
what's
territory.
crazy? I only experience hate on social media.
Me too.
When I'm out in the farmers markets,
Yeah,
when I'm out in the river, when I'm out at the mall,
yeah,
wherever. I
wherever.
could be anywhere, bro, and I get people coming up to me. You seen it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
People come up to me, "Can I take a picture with you on the
yeah,
tira?" I'm
yeah.
like, I
Yeah, it's
don't
all love.
see that. And if I'm sure there's people in the back like,
Yeah,
lame.
yeah, right.
Come on, I
Yeah,
understand it, but that's all the internet, bro.
yeah,
Because and I'm not blind, I'm not dumb and thinking it can never happen. Look at look at Nipsey Hussle.
yeah,
People who get comfortable. You give people too much and you can't.
yeah,
Because I don't for one, I learned I don't tell nobody where I'm going.
yeah,
I don't tell nobody where I'm at
yeah.
until after I leave.
100%.
I don't the only people who know where I'm at is people who invested in my business.
Yeah,
That's it. And then there's like a paper trail for everything. So we don't do this, hey, let's meet in the back of an alley and exchange some. Nah, we don't do that no more.
yeah, yeah,
Everything we do, we deal with business owners, people who are pillars in the community, politicians, and I've never even voted in my life, but yet I got the mayors hitting me up because they want to utilize my page
yeah,
as a positive platform because everybody knows these donkeys in Richie Canyon. I
yeah,
just came from doing the story right now, and we're on it, and so it's amazing that God has blessed me with a platform where it's trusted, because that's rare in today's age, especially in our community,
Yeah.
where you get any platform that is really trusted, bro,
Yeah.
by everybody, by first responders, by the community, by business owners, by the kids.
You know, that's one thing I wanted to touch bases on, because it is true. Like that you show up to like fires, and I would see you without even protection back then. You know, back in the beginning, you're like going in there, you know, crazy, just going in there,
Starter shorts and a tee.
in a tee, and then you know, now to see you, you know, fit
In my uniform.
in uniform.
Well, you know, like I said, it goes back to God, bro.
Yeah.
And these are good people. And you know who gave me that fit? The firemen.
Yeah.
You know who gave me them Nomex pants? The fire prevention agencies.
Yeah.
Since I made my way everywhere, they were like, this guy, he gets in here.
Yeah.
Let's teach him how to protect himself, because there's been times where the fires and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So they said, so they took me to the Pala Fire Fuel Prevention Agency. It was down there by the casino.
Yeah. By Pala Casino. Yeah.
And I took a course on fire prevention, and I understand fuel and chaparral, and I understand like how fire moves, and you know, safety procedures, and just things that the public wouldn't know. And it's kind of crazy. And then when I did that, Bear Valley Search and Rescue, which is the people who teach the sheriff's department in San Bernardino, like up in the mountains.
Yeah.
They took me up there and they taught me how to do search and rescue in Big Bear, right? And I'm just like, so not that I'm qualified to save anybody, but at least maybe save myself a little bit. But so when you see me with my helmet, when you see me with my jacket and all that was gifts from the actual firemen, bro.
Yeah, the first
You know?
responders, because they see you present. They
like
see you present. Yeah, they see you
They
there.
did that too. They gave me that. My shields, my patches, my everything that I got. Everything, even these are gifts, bro.
Yeah.
Like, these are all gifts, you know? People, I have sponsors. I have people who back my play monetarily every month. Here, Ahmed, boom. And I'm like, dang. And it's been like that for months and months, years. But I give them, like, it's not just, oh, I'm working for mine.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it in a good way. I'm doing it legally. I'm doing it positively, and we're promoting, and we're showcasing, and we throw back to God, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you guys are out there watching, and if you guys don't think that positivity pays, look at this man right here. You know what I mean? Everybody in this room, since I've met these people, I just, nothing but positivity, growth, business, opportunity. Hey, Ahmed, how can we use you over here to bring business over here? Or, I mean, I don't know how we did over there, but I'm sure you see something, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a learning curve, bro. Business, like, you've been in business 25 years. You could probably teach me a thing or two, you know?
100%.
And I've learned in these short 3-4 years, man, I learned about infringements. I learned about copyright violations. I learned about cease and desist. I learned about accountability and LLCs and S corps and taxes. And bro, I got an accountant now because you have to.
Now you're a business owner. Now you own a business.
Well, I'm not a mathematician for one, and I can't count that high.
You're talking
to, you know what I'm saying? So at some point, you have to bring in somebody and say, okay, because
I need your help. Well, what you just said earlier, you need
help. Nobody makes
exactly.
it. Nobody makes it on their own, and
100%.
That's an important thing that I think if you take anything from this entire podcast, bro, is you have to understand. You have to understand the fundamental of, like, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people on this planet, bro.
You gotta have a team.
You gotta have God.
Oh, there
you gotta have God. And let's just take, okay, so
business aside, before anything else,
God and business,
Jesus,
but you need a plan. You need eventually, once you start making money, you need an accountant. You need taxes. You need to do things legit, because you can never buy a house without taxes. You need to have an X amount of time of filing. You gotta show monthly, every month, that you make X amount of dollars to have boom, 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 boom. And it's like, dude, I never understood none of that.
Yeah, and that's
And
exactly what we teach people. That's what we show people.
payroll, you
You
want to
know,
get
yeah,
stressed out, go learn payroll.
yeah,
You know, and it's a good stress, but you know, stress is stress. It'll kill you. So you have to find a medium in business. You can't just work. I work a lot. People see me. I'm always out there on the tira. I'm always in fires and crashes and this and that. Okay, cool. But they also understand that's only 3 hours out of my day. I still have 21 hours that I'm kicking it. So I'm at home a lot. You know, I'm at home a lot. I rest. I have my daughters and my girl. Like I make sure that I enjoy what I build because I'm not gonna work just to kill myself, bro. Because the day you're gone, and no, este güey se jodió, and not everybody's enjoying your money, your wealth, everything you build, and you're dead as a doorknob, homie. So like you have to take care of your health, and you have to find. You know what I say? Go back to your childlike ways. Go back to what you loved as a child. I like going to the river. I like riding my bike. I like being outdoors. So that's why you see me out there. So when people say, "Oh, he's sick. Oh, he's in the hospital," yeah, I was, and I am, and I'm still sick. But like, I'm not gonna be. Man, I've been sick for 6 months, bro. So what do you want me to just be in bed with beeps coming out of my butt? Like, no, homie. Like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna live my life because there's gonna be a day when I can't walk, and there's gonna be a day when I can't move. There's gonna be a day when I can't walk up the stairs like we talked about earlier.
yeah,
But that day is not today.
yeah,
And so I'm not gonna push life forward and be like, oh, okay, well, you know
yeah.
what?
I'm done.
I'm
Yeah,
done
yeah,
because, my back hurt. My back hurt. My back's been hurting for 10 years.
yeah.
Pero le chingo. And God gives me this strength, bro.
You know, it's like I don't know if you know this, but your addiction is still there. It's just converted.
Mhm.
Instead of being a drug, now that drug is, you know,
I spent a
basically
lot of time
filled
in a
with your
prison
spirit.
cell.
Now with your spirit.
I spent a lot of time in a prison cell. I've been all over the world through books.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you about the Louvre in France. I could tell you about the French Riviera. I could tell you about the Renaissance. I could tell you about how to build cathedrals, bro, and engineer. I could tell you about a lot of things,
Let me tell you
but I've
something.
never been there.
I've been there.
I've never
in
done it.
France.
I've been there in books. You've been there in
don't-
person. I
you don't-
haven't.
You don't even. You know, it's crazy how they talk about, you know, like the church. You talk about the church or a building. Like
Mhm.
no building, even my state or anything. No building to me has ever been fulfilling. It's just not, to me. It's not. It is not. It doesn't fill me up. It doesn't
You
give
need
me
to
the
be out there,
chills. It doesn't do anything for me. It's just like the spirit. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Like
I
all
guess
that
when you never
material
had
stuff-
nothing, you kind of want everything, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like me, I never had nothing, dog.
tampoco yo.
You know?
I
Like
had
I
to
was
grow.
in foster care at 10 years old, bro, living with a black family from Zimbabwe, eating freaking collard greens and black eyed peas. I eat beans and rice and like normal, like Mexican food. Imagine going from beans and rice to African traditional cuisine. Come on, bro. I'm sitting there moving like what the, it looked like bold grass and whatever it was. And these people were so mean to us, bro. I was 10 years old. I just got removed from my house. I'm crying. I pooped my pants. Literally, not even 12 hours before in the back of the cop car. The first time, that was my first time in a cop car. Was the day we got pulled out because some fool was molesting my sister, right? My mom's boyfriend at the time. And it's sad, but it's honest and it's true. That was my life, right? Imagine getting pulled from that and then getting to another family and then a black family from another country with a whole different tradition, different, like everything's different. The
Everything's
house
different.
smelled different. Their food was different. Like everything was different, bro. And they were mean. Me, I thought my mom was mean. My mom was Mexican.
Yeah.
I thought my hefa was mean growing up,
Yeah.
but no, this lady was mean, homie. And it made me up like, dang, I thought we had it bad. And my sister had it bad. I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. But I got removed just the same because we're same age, we're minors. So whatever my sister endured, you know, I had to endure mine because of what happened to her. So in our reality, like the way my life went was because of no fault of my own, bro. Because of the actions of another man, because of the actions of the courts, the CPS system, or whatever you want to call it. it put me in a position where the first time I stole was in foster care. The first time I ran away was in foster care. The first time I got in a fight was in foster care. I never did nothing bad was until they put me in an
The system.
environment,
You were in the
right?
system.
I was
Yeah.
in yeah,
The
they made
system.
me. So then fast forward 20 years later, now I'm a heroin addict, alcoholic, meth head, ex-con. I mean, you name it. I got 2 numbers. I got 23 years in prison, twice divorced. Come on. So it's easy to feel like, dang, you're the problem. But you know what? At least I was smart. That's what got me, bro, is that I was smart enough to know that I was getting played. Even at a young age, I knew I was getting played, bro. And I said, you might play me now because I don't have the capability to protect myself. But one day, remember the milk commercial? They're like, I'm gonna drink my milk. And one day, I'm gonna be and that was my
I'm gonna be
thought
strong.
process. I'm gonna drink my milk, homie. And it took me 25 years, but look at me now, dog.
Yeah.
Can't nobody touch me. Not nobody. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they, bro. I told you, I'm here with you today. I'm gonna be in Beverly Hills next week. We got docu-series coming out from like major production companies. We just don't talk about it because there's haters out there.
100%.
And when you tell people your business, they'll throw shit on it, you know? And so, bro, I got so much going on and I wish I could tell everybody because it's not easy, but it's very possible. And I think that the thing is that I can't because I have to guard myself because if not, there's so many people out there with, they just want to put one in your back and I just won't allow it anymore. So I just give it to God. God guides me and I let people, I wear it on my front and the back and that's it, bro. And the opportunities are there. Like, don't stifle your own dreams, bro. Don't stifle your blessings. A friend of mine, Khaled, he was one of my sponsors. He's no longer my sponsor, but he's a friend of mine now. We split amicably. That's the best thing you can ever do, bro, because nothing in business is forever.
Yeah.
We could be in business for 2 years and we can make hella money, but at some point, and then you can't get mad because two businesses are two businesses.
Business is business. You
Business
never
is
take it personal.
business. We didn't create this together. We merged. So at some point, we got to unmerge.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And I love when people think like that because, like, we got everything we going to get out of this. And then maybe we could come back in 6 months or a year. Maybe you're going to be over here and I'm going to be over here and we could throw even more. And, like, that's the thought process. But when people get mad because our little thing went, we only had 12 months, or we only did 4 months, we only did bro, be glad that you even got that because you know how many people want to work with us? And we're very selective about who we work with.
100%.
And so when people say, oh, you came, but you were late, it's like, you should be glad that I even came at all because like I could literally be in 10 different spots right now that it's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people should never, especially if you put no money into it. If you're putting money into something, you got all right to feel upset. But if you ain't putting no money into, man, check that, homie.
Yeah.
Take your emotions somewhere else because we don't run this business off of emotions. We run this business off of, working and currency. And you have to, like, nothing, just don't get paid with views, bro. Like,
They don't realize that.
they don't see everything that we're TikTokers and we're influencers.
Yeah.
Okay, but we out here really doing it.
How many of them how many of them do you know that are really not, that are broke? They don't have any money because that doesn't pay the bills.
You know how I know
It doesn't
who's
pay the
broke? I'm
bills.
gonna tell you.
Go ahead.
And this is just me. And this is what I learned in my little 3 years, right? People who talk shit. Broke is people in the room.
100%. I think those are the ones that they're
No,
screaming.
let me say that again.
Yes.
The people who talk the most crap on the internet, discrediting, trying to break you down with one of my words or trying to destroy everything you worked so hard for just because of what I said. Like, I think that highly of myself. And it's like, you're the brokest one in here because people who have investors,
Quiet.
bro, you know how many investors I have? And they would, trust me, if I crash out, they're going to be the first ones on the phone say, hey, man, what's up, man?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give you X amount of dollars every month for you to just da-da-da-da-da because it puts a stain on their business.
Yep.
And I think that people who just run loose at the mouth and just say any old thing to try to get a reaction or try whatever, and you broke. Sit your broke ass down.
Yeah.
You broke.
Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people.
That's crazy. That's exactly what it is. I think a lot of people, and we have that a lot in the IE. We're here in the Inland Empire for people that are watching, but we're in the Inland Empire, and it seems like I tell people all the time, like it's crazy to me how I can leave the Inland Empire and feel loved. I'm always in Beverly Hills in those areas. I'm in Florida. Oh, I was loved. You know, I was in Florida, different areas, loved. Like everywhere I go, I'm in the South. I'm loved. Like I'm home, and in between influencers or people that have an image, there's no love. There's no love. There's no like. There's
Yeah,
no, like,
but that's
there's
not
fake
your
love.
problem. That's their problem.
I know,
You
and
know?
I get it. I mean, I see it, but I'm just like, I keep walking. You know, my
Bro,
walk.
I don't even want to be around those people. Honestly,
Yeah.
people invite me out. Hey man, come to the concert, Charlie. Hey man, come to the venue, Charlie.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know where I go? Farmers markets. I go to museums. I go to little leagues, to opening days. I go to a grand opening of a business. Wherever somebody needs me, I go. But to go there and just do this and drink all day and do líneas in the bathroom and pop pills in the car and hey, let's go and get hot. Come on, dog. What are we? And not only that, these people have kids. And not only that, their kids are running around these venues with grown men, young girls running around getting touched by grown men. Come here, mija. Tío so-and-so, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. And I seen it. These men are pigs, bro. And it's because they haven't found their way. They're still every weekend.
There's a lot
Chupe,
of-
chupe,
there's a lot of-
chupe,
there's a lot of
homie. And
lost-
it's like,
there's a lot of lost souls out there, man. I think that's when.
but it all comes back to the parents. The parents, and then they wonder why they're out there in probation courts. And then they wonder why their kids are fighting in school. Man, take your kids out of the venue. Why don't you take your kids out of the venue, take them to an Easter egg hunt, not a freaking lowrider car show. Like, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I get it. Like, I love lowriders, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just that I just can't put myself in a position where there's a chance for my safety. I can't put myself in a position where there's a chance that shit might pop off or somebody's gonna get shot. Like, it's not worth it for me no more.
I mean, I say it a lot. It's your environment, right? You choose your environment. You get to build your environment. Like, you come to my stage, you see, like, I have my environment, peaceful. Like,
Quiet.
This is the
Yeah.
environment that I want.
You worked hard for it.
Yeah, you work hard for it. Exactly. It didn't happen overnight. But also, is that, you know, where am I going to have my family at? You know, I'm gonna put them in my kids. I'm gonna put them in an environment that I wouldn't want to be a part of if I was a kid. You know, I don't want to put them in that type of environment where it's gonna show them just the wrong way.
You have to be able to listen to your intuition, bro. Because just yesterday, you know, I got two brothers that are homeless, and my kid brother, he's in Pomona, and you know, I put him on my platform, and he's very timid, he's very soft
seen
spoken.
him.
Yeah, so people love him, right?
Yeah.
He won't hurt nobody. So I went looking for him yesterday, and I didn't find him. And then I was with my girl, and she's like, "You know what, Ahmed? I think we're at that point. We just need to stop coming over here." And I'm like, she didn't mean like stop looking for your brother.
Yeah.
She didn't mean that.
Yeah.
She meant like you're not just some regular guy anymore, man. Like,
You gotta be careful.
yeah, you
100%.
like you come out with your chains and you're in the barrio.
Yeah.
Like, anybody could pass by at any time, and you know, it's like, okay. And so it's hard for me to see Steve become just a regular guy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I wear the same clothes every day.
Yeah.
I'm clean, but
Yeah.
like, if you look at my closet, it looks very much the same.
Yeah,
You know,
similar.
I'm a character.
Yeah.
I created a character, at least for these couple of years, right?
Yeah.
My wardrobe will change later, but right now it's all the same. I just throw it on and I'm out. And I think that's another thing that you gotta, in this business, if you want to be a content creator or whatever it is you want to do, you gotta separate yourself. You gotta make yourself a character. You gotta make yourself somebody that stands out. Like, I thought of Mickey Mouse when I was Food News, right? Like, what am I gonna do to stick out? Because everybody's a content creator. Like, there's
I
fools
know
out there with
you have that FNN. What does that stand for?
well,
You can't say it anymore.
no, FNN is FNN. That's all it stands for.
Okay.
Right? But today, this is all it is.
Yeah.
Faith News Network. We'll say that.
Oh, likewise. Okay.
But I used to be called Food News Network,
Yeah.
right? And we met some legal troubles with that. Fox News came after me because my logo looked like Fox News Channel, but it was Food News Network. And
And you know why it came to be that someone like Fox would even look at you? It's because you were bringing the news, like you were there, you were raw, you were at the spot before other people were at the spot, and
you
you
know
just
what
brought
got
it
me,
to the
bro?
table.
COVID. It all comes back to COVID. Everybody built. You know how many businesses were made in COVID? You know how many
Yeah.
businesses were destroyed during COVID?
Dude, we 10x in that time. We did.
Well,
we did
I
very
lost.
well.
I was out there hustling too, bro. I was a tattoo artist during that time, and they shut us down. They shut us down. Barbershops. They shut down. Like only place I could go were everybody but us. And I'm like, how the hell is everybody gonna go to work? But yet
But us,
I
yeah.
can't make my money. And
Yeah.
they like the city literally came down and shut down. And I'm like, dang. Like we weren't critical workers. Like we couldn't eat. All right, cool. So that's when my business mind started going, bro. And it's like, you know, everybody was creating something during COVID, and I just wanted to create. Mine was tattoo related. I didn't know it was gonna turn into this,
Yes.
but I learned how to edit on my TikTok and Instagram, Facebook platforms. I learned the power of controlling your tongue. I learned the power of reacting when somebody throws a rock at you and not crashing out because they clipped that. And so I started understanding all these things about social media, and I didn't even know that I was making myself a positive person because I didn't want to get clipped. I didn't want to get put on the internet in a negative light because they were already doing that. So I started saying, you know what? And I have my brother too. Shout out to my brother Felipe. He's like, every time I would crash out on the internet, he called me like, hey, bro, delete that. Delete that. Delete. And I would listen to him. I did it. And so then I wouldn't want to. And then I would get mad, like, man, delete it. All right. And I delete it. And then when I met Mahaina, I used to post fights, bar fights, and they get a lot of views. I don't post that no more. I used to post women walking on G Street on Holt,
Yeah.
you know, and it was a sad reality, but I still posted it.
Yeah.
And it brought a lot of views, but I have 2 daughters, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they're
what are you
young
showing,
women.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughter started telling me, like, that's not cool because, you know, that girl's somebody's daughter. Like, what if that was me out there and somebody blasted me out there like that and you're getting all these views and like,
Your
just think,
daughters? I have a daughter.
my daughters, I got good
My daughters
daughters.
have put me in my spot quick.
I got
so-
good daughters. I
Yeah,
got
that's
good girls, bro. And they were raised by a good woman. And I think that I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I didn't have daughters, dog. Because I've had stepsons before, you know, and my life went because they were loose, I went loose. You know, it's real easy to get caught up.
Yeah.
But now I'm home, I have God in my home, right? And my daughters are not fast women, you know. Like everything is where it's supposed to be. And I guard that, homie. You know, I guard that. People try to come all the time and try to throw me off my you know, my foundation. And sometimes it works, you know, because I'm human. Like you said, we're still human, you know, we're still human. But I have to recognize that, you know, pobre vato, or pobre Jaina, that she feels the need to come to a stranger. It's like me going to a stranger's house and throwing a pie in your face. It's like, what the heck? I just opened the door and here I am with a big old pie in my face.
Yeah.
That's what they do in the internet. They come to you and, hey, and here you are because you're the star of the show. Here you go, bro. There's a pie in your face just because. And it's like, dang. So what I do, I just block them.
I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause
I block them.
I was like, I just block people now, man. I'm like,
And not
look,
only me,
you got-
but listen, I just want to put it out there. I'm not the only one that runs my account.
Yeah.
I run it.
Same.
My girl runs it. My daughters, we all run it. They don't make the decisions and they don't press like and but they separate the money from the fluff. So while I'm here talking to you,
No block as well, right?
oh yeah, they have full blocking capability, yes. But
That's what it's about. Don't get blocked.
So,
You talk negative, you're gonna get blocked.
you need a good team to handle. Like you need, like you have your assistant or you have your team, you have your engineer, you have people to do the things that, because somebody needs to be here.
Yeah.
So while you're here, somebody needs to be there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way, bro. As I'm doing this here with you, like there's always somebody, like figuring it out.
Yeah.
And that's how we move, bro. And that's how I know where to be next week. And that's how I know where my appointments are, and we're locked in because we just don't deal with we just deal with professionals now.
Yeah.
And one thing I know professional doesn't like to lose is time and money.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
thank
the
you.
one thing I learned, that a professional does,
those are the only two things I ask for. Don't waste my time
or my money.
Don't cost me money.
and as long as you do that, and
Yeah.
you know what, and be respectful and be honest,
Yeah.
and don't overexert yourself, right? I come and go.
Yeah.
I come, I do what I do, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because for one, I'm busy, and two, I don't have that much energy.
Yeah.
And three, I like kicking it now.
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about your energy, obviously your health. I wanted to touch bases on that. I've told you this before. I keep you in my prayers.
Thank you, brother.
And I hope that
Thank you.
that God gives you strength, and He has. I see it. Like I see you just moving and bobbing. I told you earlier, man, you're doing better than I am. I'm hurting. I've been hurting like it's happening.
Can I
again.
tell you something? I've been paralyzed before.
Same.
I've
by
been
the way.
paralyzed, literally. 13 years ago, my first bout of cancer, I had AML, and it tore up my bone marrow. Right, that it attacked my spine, because your bone marrow is primarily made in your spine and in your femurs, because those are your biggest bones, and your hips, right, your pelvis or whatever. So there's a lot going on. So when bone marrow gets infected, your bones become brittle, right? And so your spine, obviously. So right now I got a fractured hip. I got multiple fractures in my spine. In 1 year, bro, I lost 6 inches in height. I was 5'11". I'm 5'6" now. I was tall. You should see my brothers. They're all tall. And here I am, a little stump today. But it happened in a year. So you can imagine the pain that I went through. And when my vertebrae were breaking, and that's how I got stuck on morphine and Tramadol and oxys and everything else, these prescription medications. I had finally stopped slamming because of my illness helped me to stop, because it was like, thank you, God. Like, you got me out of my addiction. It was the craziest thing. My temptation was gone, bro. I never wanted to slam, and I never have. Since I got sick the first time, never did drugs again.
Wow.
But then Big Pharma came.
Yeah, and then that started just
Even worse.
Yeah.
They became my dope dealer. Bro, I could have bought my house in 3 years. I spent that much money in 3 years that I could have bought me a nice $250,000 house, bro. And I spent it.
all on
I probably paid off my dealer's house.
crazy. You're right.
And that's what helped me sober up, is that I was like, how can I invest this much money into I was spending $100 a day. Do the math, bro, for 5 years. And that's just 5 years. I could take you back to 20.
Yeah,
We're not even, I'm just giving you the first 5.
Yeah. How much money you've been investing in
That's why I
tearing
couldn't
your
go
body
back.
down in-
I
yeah,
just
exactly.
I just counted the first 5 because I
Yeah.
knew what I spent in the last 5 years. I was spending 100 a day.
Yeah.
A day. So I counted 100 times, 7 times 4,
Yeah.
4 times 20, and it led to, in 5 years, I could have bought a house like this.
Let me ask you a question, and then going back to your health, right? And the situation you just told me about. For someone that doesn't understand addiction to that level, because I've never been into drugs, I never have. I've been on the other side. You know what I mean? Making money. You know what I mean? But not on the
You
using
drank?
side. But I did drink.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same
You're
thing.
right. We talked about it earlier.
The same thing, you couldn't get up. I couldn't get up neither. The same thing, you fell asleep. Baba's coming out your mouth. I fell asleep. Baba's coming out of my mouth. The same thing, you were like this. I was the same way.
Yeah.
It's just
Alcohol
one vice
or
is
drugs?
yeah. One vice
vice to
is
another.
yeah. Mine was cheaper.
No, and here's the thing. What is the?
So you do understand it.
I do.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was telling you, like, it was trying to find
The drug part.
trying to find peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, try to relax, right? So much going on. So is that the same thing when it comes to, is it
Anxiety, you mean?
yeah, anxiety, or you're battling something, emotionally that causes the,
You know
the
what?
addiction
A
to
lot
that
of
level?
us came from broken homes. A lot of us came from emotional behavioral issues, problems that we probably didn't know how to deal with in our upbringing. And we categorize them as different things, like today I have anxiety, right? And I recognize it. but I used to think I was like hyper deficient, ADD. That's not true because I could pay attention when I want. So it's not that I can't pay attention. Is that if something doesn't amuse me, then I have no interest in it. But that doesn't mean that like anxiety and ADD are two different things, right? And I think that at least for me growing up, everything was ADD. You got ADD. You're hyper, you're ADD. You can't concentrate, you're ADD. You got issues, you're ADD. And
Well, you were in the system, and that's everything that they fed
well,
you.
they feed you, and it all goes back to big pharma again,
Yeah.
bro. They're making millions off of us, and you're marginalized, and you. Anyhow, we can go on and on, but
Let's throw back about your health. Sorry, I know I'm kind of pushed you from one thing to another, but your health, about your obviously the
I
cancer.
still have cancer.
Your cancer.
I
that
still
you're
have
battling.
cancer. I have multiple myeloma. I got re-diagnosed in September. I do chemo every week. Every Friday, I'm in Riverside Community. I'm on no pain meds. So
How do you do that?
how?
How do you do that from going from, you know what I mean, like being able to?
That's
on
why I
something
land
and
in the
then-
hospital a lot because my doctor wants to give me pain management. He says your anxiety. Here's yours for anxiety. Here, man. Here's morphine for your pain. Here's this because remember I got a bad back.
it's
That
a
don't
whole
go away.
Farm,
And now I got a bone marrow issue again. So, bro, the way you see me now is not the way I am after like 9 o'clock. After 9 p.m., your body sets in.
yeah,
You know how it is.
all the pain comes in. Oh, 100%.
Bro, I never took so many because now I got a nice house and I got a spa in my bathtub and stuff, and jets and stuff.
and hang out and just
Bro,
kinda be in the
I
warm,
try to
right?
do that almost every day because I sleep better with this hot water on my body. Like.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I still have cancer. My numbers are looking good. The reason why I go to the hospital so much is because I do feel pain, and with pain comes anxiety. If you can't sleep for 2 nights because there's so much pain, after 2 nights of me not sleeping, I get clumsy. My driving becomes affected. I get irritated. Sometimes I don't go live because I know I'm edgy. So it affects me. So if I don't go to the hospital, I'm gonna spend 3 nights not sleeping. And then it just keeps getting worse and worse. And all that breaks down your blood pressure. It really breaks down your health, bro. Sleep is very important.
It is.
Sleep very, very important. It's
Before
just
I
as
had-
good as eating.
Yeah,
It's very important.
Before I had my surgery,
Especially as you get older.
yeah, before I had my surgery, it was like something 9 weeks ago. But before I had the surgery, and I was telling you earlier, it was not just. I tell people it's not just. It wasn't. I haven't really been telling people, but it was a hernia.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with the hernia was like I was telling you earlier, is where the intestine went through the hole,
Painful.
and it was just super painful. And I waited as well, and I was like, I'm gonna wait it out, and me aguantaba. I'm like, I'm gonna deal with it. I don't like taking pills. I don't like taking anything. And then going through the surgery, again, going back to the same thing, like the guys, you can't move, you can't do nothing. I couldn't bathe myself. I couldn't do a lot of things. It's a very humbling moment in my life. I've had that before through a motorcycle accident. I couldn't walk. Had to learn to walk again. Had to learn to get myself back going.
It's a scary feeling when you know you need pain medication, but you're an addict.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Bro, I'm in pain right now, but I'm not on no pain meds. So I'm feeling pretty strong, I hurt more at night. I usually go more. I can handle the pain, but I can't handle the sleepless nights because it affects me. After 3 days of not sleeping, I'm like, so then I go to the hospital. They give me a shot of morphine. They give me a Ativan for like a tranquilizer to I sleep like a baby, and that carries me for 2 weeks. But I don't have to be popping Norcos every day because I change. After 1 day of Norcos, I'm a different person, bro.
Wow.
Like if I start taking morphine today, I'll be fun today, but tomorrow I'm not a med anymore. Now I'm like,
Somebody else, yeah.
I'm somebody else. And then imagine me taking that again and again. And by a week, I will no longer be the same person anymore. And I just feel empty inside when I take pills, and I don't laugh, and I just notice that I'm more uptight and I constipated. It's just not good, bro.
Not a good feeling.
It's just not a good feeling. So,
I never.
but it's tough. You know what? You can do it. But I'm not above taking medication under doctor's orders in the hospital under IV and all that. So, I know a lot of people are concerned for my health and all that. But my doctor says that, things are looking good, bro. So You
Well, here's
know,
the thing too. Like I think you talk about when you go out there and you go visit, these kids and everything. I think a lot of people like that you're taking your image and you're taking it more to a personal level and you're being more positive about it. And I like that you're showing people like one, you're in pain, you're still showing up.
yeah.
'Cause there's some people like they make the excuse. I was talking about this earlier. Like people can make an excuse. They want to be the boss. Like you want to be the boss, but you don't. You want to call off. You can't
Yeah, you
call off
can't.
when you're the boss. You
No,
can't
that
call
you
off
no, that's one thing
when
when
you
you
run
own
the
your own
show.
company.
You can't call off.
No,
Well, it's easy to want to be the boss, like, and want to act up and then feel that ego inside you and be like, well, I want to own this space. Well, go ahead,
it comes
own
with
it.
a lot.
I just before we got here today, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but before we got here today, I had to cut a check.
Hmm.
You know who had to cut the check at the end of the day? It was a loss, and it was an L. You know who cut the check? I did. So everyone else gets to clock in, clock out, go home.
I did payroll on the way here.
I have to cut.
I did payroll, and I was like, dang.
And this wasn't even payroll. At least payroll is positive because people are helping you. In this particular case, I had to take an L for a situation. And at the end of the day, I'm like, see, this is the part where people don't see in the back end. Like when everyone wants to like, oh, chip
You
in.
know what's
I want
crazy
this,
though? Can I
want
say
that.
something?
Go ahead.
Men take their L's quietly. A real successful business owner will take his L's quietly. I mean, yeah, you could tell people like, man,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But to cry about it and snivel, and then I'm not saying you did.
No, I know.
But I'm saying like,
You're calling me a baby?
No,
Take
no,
it out,
but
son. I got it.
I've lost too.
Yeah.
Food News Network, bro. I lost that overnight. I gave away tens of thousands of dollars in merchandise.
We relate because my other account that I had before this, people don't know. I have this account. This is a small account. I had a bigger account before this, and I lost it. And you know how much money was invested in that account? You know how much
Rebranding is
time and
expensive.
effort? And I can't. This one hasn't been able to build up because the algorithm changed. Everything changed, so it hasn't been able to build the way the old one built. And the old one built like this. And I'm just like, what can I do? Nothing. Just move on. What are we gonna do? Keep rolling. That's it.
You're already doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what you did is you kept going. That's it. When I lost my business, bro, I shed a tear. It's like we lost our. I lost my business on its 1 year anniversary. On its one, it's like I lost a baby. And bro, I had brought it up to like about almost 500,000 subscribers in a year. All organic, authentic. I was making money, dog. Money. People were just throwing everything at me. I was like, okay, this is it. Like I finally captured lightning in a bottle. And that's what they say. God give it, and God take it away, homie. Because one day I woke up, I went from making over 10,000 a month, bro, to my next check was like less than 1,000. And I was like, dang.
Humbling moment, huh? Humbling moment.
Thank God I saved.
Yeah.
Thank God that I save. Thank God that I prepare. Thank God that, and you know what? A business isn't as hard when you build it gradually. But when you rebrand overnight and you have to flip it on its head and create new chains and new merch and new hats and new this, because I created a character. And so people wanted this character, but I couldn't use that character no more. I needed a new one, but they wanted this. So I had to rebrand like overnight. And that was hard, bro, because to keep a company going and then rebrand in real time, everybody has to get paid again.
Yeah.
The logo artist, a new accountant, like everybody needs to get paid again because they're not gonna carry on. That was the last contract. That contract is dead.
Yeah.
There's new contracts now because people want to get paid. And so I understand that part of it now. And a loss hurts, but I took my loss, I licked my wounds, and now look, we're back up, homie.
Back up and running. Also tell people like
And I'm tired. Trust me, I'm tired. But like I said, bro, I wouldn't change it for the world.
We don't show it. Here's the thing, we don't, like, as we just said, we just take the L's, we push forward, we don't show it. I don't go out there and
I don't show my gains neither.
Yeah,
I don't show my wins.
Yeah,
I don't
get nothing off of the gain or the loss or the it's just like, hey,
I praise God.
Yeah,
honestly,
100%.
I praise God. I praise
God.
that. I praise my health, what I have left of it, because I always say there's somebody out there worse off, bro. There's people out there. I got nephews who are amputees. I got family who are paraplegics. I got diabetes runs in my family. Like all these ailments. I got cancer, but like my family looks at me like, how the heck? And I'm like, I don't know.
Jesus, it's on your shirt. It's on your shirt.
I think that I just don't let this cancer take me out, bro. Like I said, there's gonna be a time for everything. know, and that time will come. It's just not today. So
Yeah.
don't try to rush me into my
100%.
demise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let
sure.
me. And then you know what's crazy? Everybody seems to think that all cancers are the same. People get mad at me because I didn't deal with their dad dealt with. I didn't deal with what your son dealt with. Or when my son was doing chemo, he didn't get this, or he wasn't that. You know that some people have tumors, some people don't. Some people use radiation, some people don't. Some people get chemo, some people don't. Some people get like some people have PICC lines, some people don't. Like there's so many forms of treatment, bro, that for anybody to discredit another person or wish death on another person who's in general,
Yeah.
to wish any kind of no.
Harm or bad
Mm-mm.
on
You know
anyone.
what?
Yeah.
We
Then
pray for
here's the
you.
thing. I was gonna
God
say.
bless you. And we
I was about
hope
to
you
say that.
heal from whatever it is you're going through, because I just don't have that in
Yeah,
me,
that's all
bro.
it is just pain. I think we both see it that way now. It's like it's just that person is in pain, so the only way to say it is, by what it deals with. And I don't know how I'm gonna be very careful about bringing this up just because of the it's a touchy subject.
Mm,
Um, but coming from addiction, I have a nephew that passed
mm.
through fentanyl, and at a very young age. So I'm like, that's why I was asking. Like, I don't like hard to understand it.
I was on
One,
fentanyl, bro. Before, sorry about your nephew, by the way. I was on fentanyl for about 3 years. I was taking over 10 pills a day. M30. The one will kill you. But like I said, I was a heroin addict for 25 years, so my tolerance was very high, and
so
that's why I
that's
was spending $100 a day on fentanyl.
is that what it is? Is it a tolerance thing that it takes it take such a young life, you know what I mean, compared to someone that's
Well,
obviously
like
been
like a kid at a party splitting a pill with his friends, and they're trying to, they're maybe they're thinking of something else, or they don't know that it's as strong as it is, or whatever. Um, their tolerance is not. It's like they'll take down an elephant, bro. Or you like somebody like me had a high tolerance level. And that's why people get so bad, because I could do two, three, four, 5 times what you do, and I could barely get high because I've been doing so much, and you don't. So you do the very minimal, and so
there's the one thing
it's
this is the one
tricky.
thing the one thing that I'm like,
And now it's also in powder form.
mhm.
It's not just in pill form where it could be easily recognized. Now they sprinkle it in this and they put it in that and they cut it with this. And so when people are out there buying things in the street, like even if they're, hard pressed, illegal drugs, or even some of these street marijuana dealers that, I don't know, at these parties, people are taking all these hallucinogens and cocaine and line. They're doing lines, and they're taking fentanyl and they don't even know it.
What's the when I
It's an
don't
opioid.
I remember what would you say to someone that's to be able to prevent that from happening, to understand you coming from where you come from.
um, Prevent it from happening. Obviously, that's a tough one. But if it does happen, and you find yourself in a position where people are offering you, don't do it. Obviously, because you may not OD the first time, and you may not even get sick the first time. But there's always a second. And so if you open that door once, it's gonna make it easier for you to fall under peer pressure or fall under whatever. And so I would just say don't do it ever, because unless you like playing with fire, you're gonna get burned. I never met a drug dealer. I never met a drug addict who accidentally became one. You know what I'm saying? Never, never, never once. It's like if you open that door, then you got to be ready for what comes with that. And unfortunately, it's pain. Your family. You might be the one. You might be the only one not realizing what you did because you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be that instantaneous that you might never even know what you did. But yeah, here's your entire family in mourning. You got a headstone. Got pictures of you all over the wall at home, and you're gone, bro. Gone. And I think that what's sad is half of these kids don't even know they died. That's what's sad, bro. Is they don't even know. You don't feel like, oh, here it comes. I'm blacking out. You don't feel that. One minute you're here having a good time, and it's like when you pass out drunk at a party, you just don't remember. And next thing you know, you just didn't wake up. Unfortunately, with alcohol, you wake up. You sleep it off, you wake up. With fentanyl, you wake, you go in a hard sleep. Your breathing becomes, uh, affected, and your blood pressure drops, and you may choke on your tongue, or you just fade to black, bro. And that's all it is. And it sucks that you have to say it like that, but that's the God's honest truth. It's just like just one minute you're here and the next minute you're gone. And
What leads to, um, someone's addiction? I mean, particular like me, I told you, I got to a point to where I felt like I was carrying so much that I started drinking, more
I met a
consistently.
lady. I met a lady
And I had
yesterday.
both parents. I'm just trying to stop you, like with you talked about your background or whatever. I had both parents. Like, they were
For
both
me,
very
like I said,
always
for
working.
me, it was behavioral issues, foster care, fighting. You know,
So is it
it was
just
just it was
that
a
kid finding?
rebellion.
Is it just a kid
And I
finding
lived in a
something?
tough neighborhood.
Yeah,
Like there was winos outside my liquor store.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we would sell dime bags in junior high, and like it was part of our environment. So you have to understand that parent it's very important the role parents play in their children's life. Like my mom never took me to Little League. My mom was a single mother, a different man. Not because she was easy, but because she was a woman. And over years, so
Yeah, different relationship.
she had different relationships. And so, unfortunately, one of those people hurt my sister. And then in turn, I got dragged into it because I could tell you, bro, I remember playing marbles. I remember, my slingshot, and I remember riding my bikes. Like, those are my childhood memories. My sisters are probably very different than mine, right? So, but I'll tell you that our memories became the same after they removed both of us from the home. Like, no matter what happened before that, we were in this together now. And so, I got my scars along with her. She
Yeah,
has more than me, but that doesn't discredit mine. And
right.
so, um, and as far as my situation, those are very, very heavy burdens for a child to go through, being removed and foster care. And remember, this is Los Angeles we're talking about in the
Yeah,
80s, bro.
yeah.
Crack epidemic. It's
100.
not the
Yeah,
2000s.
it's
This
not
is
the
like,
2000.
yeah, it was crazy back then.
Yeah,
And so, I remember, just for me, bro, I remember walking through Los Angeles at 10 years old, bro, in Compton, with my little brother, and he's crying. And I'm like, I'm protecting him. Who's gonna protect me? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so that's how I learned. And so it became easy. The line between CPS and criminal, uh, you know, criminal system was very blurred for me.
I
You
think it's
know,
safe to say, like, if you're watching this, like, it's safe to say, like, young, old, whatever age you're in, watch your environment, check your environment, kind of take time to see where you're at, who you're hanging with,
sometimes it's not
who
even. It's sometimes
like
not
what
even. It's out of your control, bro. Like I
it
didn't.
is. I beg to differ. Let me tell you why. I make a choice if I want to be in the hood or don't want to be in the hood. That's a
I'm
choice.
talking about
That's
child. Like
no, no, no. But
like as an adult, you could say that.
but even as a youngster, I mean, I get it. As a youngster, I felt powerful. As a youngster, I felt like nothing can touch me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
you still
beat.
got beat up.
I was
You still got beat up.
and I still will fight all the time, right? No,
So you
but
didn't.
but I'm saying
Your dad still had to like. But what I'm trying to say is like we could say that as an adult,
yeah,
and I don't mean to like jump like
no,
correct
no,
you or nothing, but as an adult, you could say like that person had the intellect to say that. But as a child, you
no, no,
can't
no.
you can't you can't throw a kid in MacArthur Park and watch him around a bunch of fentanyl heads, and you're thrown out there and then blame the kid because he's seen what he's
No, no, and
seen.
I'm not blaming the kid. What I'm saying is, as a youngster, even myself, I was a product of my own environment. Like I put myself in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you just said, it's a little different because we're older. It's crazy because we were youngsters. We would think the older people, the OGs, or those people that you call older, the wise men,
Oh
were not
yeah.
wise. You were like, he don't know what he's talking about. But now that you go back and you're thinking, now that we're the wise men, now we're like, oh, we know what we're talking about. We've been there. So your environment, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether you're female or male, it's huge. It's a huge difference on where you put yourself, and kind of like going to staying out of nightclubs. And nothing good happens after dark, and that's the truth. Right? I've been jumped for staying at a party 2 minutes too long. You know what I mean? And getting involved in something I shouldn't get involved with. End up in the hospital, and I'm like, all it took was for me to leave. 2 minutes, I would have been gone.
And thank
And so
goodness
it's
that
but
you
it's
have that. I have that today.
Yeah.
Today I won't go to that because I get that.
Yeah.
But to somebody who's naive and kind of just
No, I
figuring
get
it
it, I get
out,
it.
bro,
I get
you
it.
land in predicaments that are out of your control.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
get
remember
it,
the
and
first
then
time I slammed. Let me tell you this, and it's you're right. I did have a choice, but I remember the first time I slammed heroin. I brought it in for somebody from the visiting room because he was almost getting caught. So I was young, and he's like, "Hey, do me a favor, bring this in for me because nobody suspects you. You're a little youngster."
You're a youngster.
So I
Yeah.
brought it in for him, and I gave it to him. And that night, he shot me a big old ball of heroin, bro. And he said, "Here, thank you for." And that was the first time I did that, and
Yeah.
and I had a choice, but did I really?
Yeah. Well,
Like, what if I would have told that man, "No, I'm not bringing in your shit"?
curiosity killed the cat? You know what I mean? You.
But do you understand what I'm
coulda
saying?
grabbed
Like,
that, you could have grabbed that and just be like, well, it's not for me. Boom. Like I've had it. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you
Like,
can, but you can't. Not in prison. Like, it's not like I did it in a bus stop.
no, I
You know
get
what I mean? Like, I was in a controlled environment. And so sometimes things happen out of your control. Like, nobody said I was going to be a heroin addict. I didn't wake up that day and said, I'm going to shoot heroin today. Like, the devil came into my life,
But
put
where
it
were
in
you
front
at?
of
Where
me
were you at?
in prison
Or over what? Over a choice you made that put you in prison, right?
over a choice. Yeah,
I'm just
over a
saying.
choice.
Like, I'm just saying. We've already at a point in our lives where, like, in business as well and personal. I'm talking personal, and we've both been youngsters and knuckleheads and whatever you may seem, but it was our choices that led us to where we're at. Juvenile hall, it was a choice.
Mhm.
Prison,
Choices.
jail, choice.
No, you're right.
I've
At the
been,
end of the day,
it was a
at the
choice.
end of the day,
what
you could choose to go little legal, you could choose to go gangbang, and I chose gangbanging.
100%. And
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
one of the things
So
that I'm
it's
trying
like,
to, for those that are watching, is like, check your environment, because I know for a fact, like I know he didn't want to be in that environment. And I know I didn't want to be in that environment. Now that we know this environment, oh, this is a much better environment.
yeah.
But
Now I
but
tell kids not to do it.
yeah, but you have to, well, again, young, older, doesn't matter where you're at in life. It's your environment. You have a choice. It's scary because it's a different, remember, we're talking about changing of environment. So it's scary. I'll give you that. It's scary because you don't know any other environment. This is what I know, right? This is where I'm comfortable. You brought up Nipsey earlier. And that's again, being around your environment because you're familiar with your environment. But it's it's the choices that you make in life that are going to impact you. Overall, like if you can change that, for me, it's huge. Change your environment. Why do you do what you do today as a business owner, or why do you do what you do today as a father or as a mother? Anything that you do, or even as a youngster, is based on
You
you're trying to
learn.
better your environment. If you're out there hustling because you're trying to you're trying to get a better environment around you. So surround yourself with better people. Surround yourself with better, environments in general. I'm not.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Bottom
You
line.
sound like a dare program. Remember
Don't do
those?
drugs. Don't no. And in all honesty, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. And I mean, that's essentially what we're talking about here. We're not talking about gang banging.
No, I'm
We're
talking about in general
fentanyl,
environment.
right?
I'm talking about no. And I'm already taking it off of that. I'm just saying I'm talking in general environment. You want to be in you if you are surrounded by.
Can I give my blueprint?
Go ahead, let's roll.
Be kind, bro. Be kind. Be positive. Watch your tongue. Don't talk about others. Mind your business. You got 24 hours a day. If I spend 18 hours on my business and then the rest of the day on somebody else's, imagine if I took that amount and applied it to my business and I spent the entire 24 hours a day on what I got to do. And and we're just talking about what Seinfeld said earlier, and I don't
Yeah.
even know that vato like that.
Yeah.
But he said something that really resonated with me.
And
He said
I've been in
he's
his old home. That's
he
crazy.
said that he spends his entire day trying to better himself. That's it. He never said nothing about God. He never said nothing about others. He never said nothing about his car. He never said nothing about nothing. He just said, I just try to be better myself every day. And I took that as fix your problems. Like if you fix your problems today, it gives you more opportunity for growth tomorrow because that's one less thing you have to worry about. Like if I pay my tax today, I don't have to worry about being late fees next month or 3 months from now
Or
because I
getting pulled
paid it.
over and getting his car taken away. You
Or
know?
getting my tickets or getting it because I paid like I did. So instead of me planning to go out, instead of me planning to go spend money here and go spend, no, I plan on how can I move my business. And I just think that I hang out with other business owners now. Like if you're not a business
That's your
owner,
environment. That's
if you're
your
not a
environment.
business owner, like God bless you, but what are we gonna talk about? Like I'm not gonna go have lunch. We're not gonna kick it. I'm not gonna drink beers with you. We're not gonna like no. Now, if you're a business owner and I'm a business owner and it's Friday night and hey, let's stop business and let's go have a couple drinks. Take your wife, I'll take mine. You want to take your kids, we'll go on vacation together, whatever. But it's all because our business brought us here.
100%.
And so I know there's nobody gonna be like, I don't have no time to get like, either we're talking business or we ain't talking at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. You gotta handle your business overall. I think what people see
Yeah.
the brand and they think it's like you said, you work hard on it. You know, it's all the sweat and tears and everything in the back end that they don't see.
This dude, I never even met this man in person, you know that? The
You
man
never
just
met him
called
in
me. I've
person?
never met him in person. And he sponsors me, right? And he's just, I don't know, what do you call me? He never calls me, you know? So,
For those
but
that want to sponsor you, when you say sponsor, what does that mean? Can you kind of
a
elaborate a little bit for those that are
sponsor, a
watching?
sponsor is something that all social media influencers should work for or strive towards. That means when somebody takes an interest in what you're pushing, that they're willing to invest in your company in financially, they're in a workspace, in opportunities, business ventures, exposing you to their clientele. And so a sponsor becomes a lot of things, but more than anything, a sponsor becomes a financial, you know, it's a
Support.
compensation,
Yeah,
right?
support.
So nobody's gonna give you money just because you're so good looking or just because you drive a nice car. Like, no, you have to put something on the table for that man to want to invest in you because at the end of the day, he needs to make his money back.
Yeah,
So for people who don't understand sponsorships, it's your job to be the best at what you do, speak clearly, put your message out, be kind, because that's how you know who's out there making real moves. Is you could tell by the people in your team. And if you have nobody in your team and it's just you, well, then you're able to say what you want because who's it gonna affect? I don't care.
yeah.
Can't say nothing. But if your sponsor is, you know, you have what you have because somebody else, you're gonna control your tongue, you're gonna control your movement, you're gonna control your business. And so that's one thing that I've learned from my sponsors is they don't want to see me crash out. They don't want to see me get in an argument. They don't want to see me fight. Because if I'm fighting, it's like them fighting. Because we're joined. This is contracts.
When you're doing this, is there a return on investment for them, or are they just sponsoring you
Yes,
like
no,
100%?
everything's in it. Why would they give me money if I'm not making them money?
Mm. Yeah,
I couldn't be your sponsor for 15 months if I've only raked in money for 1 or 2 months. Like, the hell are you gonna just? And I don't get paid. I get paid, bro.
yeah,
Like I'm not sitting here and like if you deal with crumbs, you get crumbs.
yeah.
If you think in crumbs, you get crumbs. So people try to pay me in tacos all the time, and I tell them, bro, tacos don't pay my bills.
Thank you.
Tacos don't pay my car.
Thank you.
Or can I be your mobile detailer? I'll wash your car. And bro, you want me to promote your business? Pay me the way I paid my producer, the way I paid my car dealer, the way I paid the person who made my shirt, the way I paid for everything, you gotta pay too, bro. Because if not, then I won't be able to do what I do.
So I'm not the only one that gets that. The people
Well,
want to give me
if
free
look
stuff.
it, dog, look it.
People want to give
You-
me free. I'm like, I can't handle that.
Sometimes you gotta pay.
You got to pay to play the game.
Look, dog, I make music, right? I'm not no big old artist or nothing,
Yeah.
but I know the difference between a good producer and a crappy one.
Yeah.
I got a crappy producer here, but I don't go to him. I'll go to Burbank and pay my producer. He charges 3 times what this fool charges, and he's 3 times farther. But I go because I love what he.
I was say, but it's 3 times better.
It's 3 times
You
better,
get what you pay
100
for.
times better.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
So and I'm tired, and my back hurts when I go, and I pay the gas, and I pay the car note, and I pay everything, and I pay him, and I give him his tip, because that's how that's how people work.
But dog, you know what? It speaks volume.
It greases the
is-
wheels,
yeah.
and you know what though? When I need a song, I don't have to wait 4 days for him to text me back. If I text him right now, hey bro, you busy Monday? He's gonna text me within 15 minutes because he knows that I got money for him.
Yeah, and you take care of business.
Well, yeah, I'm not going out there to waste his time. It's like we making money. And when somebody pushes money, then you have no choice whether you're gonna respect it. You're never gonna see no more money out of that.
I always tell
Like
people,
me and you, we go into business. If I do a commercial for you
Yeah.
and it didn't bring no fruit, you're not gonna hire me for no more commercials. You're gonna be like, you know what, cool, but it didn't pan out. All right, feed me.
Yeah.
But bro,
But we're still friends.
There's many opportunities. It's not like this is one. A commercial's another.
That's what I was gonna get at right
there's
now.
so much to
I was gonna get at right now though.
Yeah.
Ahmed was that you showed up, bro. You showed up here. You said I don't do podcasts, and you showed up.
Yeah, I don't.
Can you-
I haven't done
can
one in
you-
about a year.
Can you tell me why? Why you showed up here to Ignite? Why you showed up here with me?
I'm gonna tell you a story.
With Diego.
And it involves one of your shows. You had Noel Hector in
Yeah.
here, right? I met Hector. We were talking about
Good
this
friend.
earlier. I met Hector about 5 years ago at the Moreno Valley Mall. And he came up to me and he tried to get me to church.
No, he was promoting the church.
He
at
was
the time.
promoting a church over there on Indian.
Yeah.
In Moreno Valley. And I wasn't even full news yet. I wasn't nothing. I was just a tattoo artist trying to break into anything.
Were you still into vices at that time?
Yeah, I was heavily addicted.
Yeah.
I went to the church on fentanyl, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I went over there and I sat there and I met him and I met his homeboy and they were just telling me. And I heard the message, but I wasn't there for that, you know? And then I tried to take him to eat tacos after. Hey, let me pick your brain. Let me take you guys out to dinner. He's like, no. I said, all right, cool. And I wouldn't have either because I probably looked like horrible, you know? I didn't look like I look today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had tattoos all over my face and my hands, and I cleaned myself up a little bit because I know now that if I want a little bit of respect, I gotta put a little bit on it, you know? So I didn't know today that God was planting those seeds in my life, bro, because fast forward and I meet you at downtown Riverside and you asked me if I do a podcast and I told you straight out, no, I don't do them. And then when I got home, you popped up on my feed. You know how social media does that. And I seen Hector on your thing, and I was sitting there and I like, check this fool out. So I was watching your podcast, and I heard Hector and you talking about God.
Yeah.
And I was telling Mahain, I was like, that's crazy that I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And Mahain was like, Mahain is very protective. She's like, you don't even know this guy.
My lady's the same way.
She's like, why are you even gonna go on this podcast? Because I usually don't, bro.
Yeah.
Like anytime I tie into business with somebody or a podcast, because I've been burned before, you know what I mean? And I'm just very protective of where I go.
Yeah.
But when I seen that, I just looked at it like a mess. And so Hector, if you're watching, thank you.
Noel.
Noel.
Hector of all Hectors.
The Hector of all Hectors.
My God, man, we love you.
But you know what? I understand now everything he said and what you guys were talking about. And so you just never know where the message is going to come from. You don't know who's going to be the one. And it wasn't just him. Like, Hector didn't change my life. But he was just another piece. And so when you asked me why I said yes, that was why, bro. Is because first I said no, and then you popped up on my feed. And then I seen you guys, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And if it would have been any other kind of topic, I probably would have just kept with my answer. but because I heard you guys talk about God, I said, you know what? I said, and I told my hand, I said, I'm gonna give dude a chance. Serio. And I'm glad I did, bro, because I get a good vibe, but I don't give nobody that, bro. And not
Yeah.
even my own family. I don't even talk to half my family because I don't give them that. But I said, I'm gonna give homeboy a chance because I like what he's pushing. And so you
Appreciate
see, I came, bro. I come by myself, and I come honest and wholeheartedly, and I don't expect nothing out of this, nothing at all, bro. Other than whoever's listening could maybe get a message, and just know that it's not that hard, bro. You make it hard on yourself, You make it hard on yourself, and I go to sleep at 8:30 at night. 8:30 at night. Some fools are just getting started at 8:30,
8:30
and
at
I'm
night.
already. So just goes to show you that if I could go to sleep at 8:30 and still be a successful businessman, bro, then you could do it too, homie. The thing is, I wake up at 5.
Yeah.
My day gets started like I'm already pushing a positive message at 5 a.m., bro. I don't wake up, having to crank myself up. Like I know exactly what I'm gonna do today, tomorrow, and just if you really want to make a change, every time you open your mouth, put some positive out there, bro. Even if you're not feeling it. And if you're not feeling it, just don't say nothing and walk away. Say, sorry, I'm not feeling it today and walk away. But don't ever say nothing negative, bro. And I'm telling you, words matter. Words matter.
What matters right now? It does. You either bring someone up or you bring someone down. You got to make a choice.
Words matter, man.
Quick thing. I won't finish with this. Is um, what is where can people find you? First of all, let's talk about that
On the tira.
on the tira. So okay, on Instagram, on
Yeah, all
where?
social media platforms on the tira.
Oh, and
Or you could just
for
type
those
in
that
my
don't speak-
name.
for those that don't speak Spanish, how do you spell that?
ON THETIRA.
What does that stand for?
Tira, tier, prison tier. Like think Folsom. First tier, second tier, third tier, fourth tier, fifth tier. And
So you're always on the lookout.
well, the tira means, I did 23 years in prison. So I just took what I knew and I just took away the stigma, I guess, from
Yeah.
it. Like I took away the black cloud over it because it's an ugly place, bro. I cried many nights under my blanket, those cries where you can't make a sound because you live with somebody and you can't do that. And so people cry in prison, bro. I've been alone many times when I've cried and it's those cries you're just like, you can't breathe. It's just so hurtful, and I just don't want to cry like that no more, bro. And so I took that from that. Like the tira means somewhere I've been, and I didn't let it break me, dog.
Yeah.
I didn't. It had power over me, but it didn't have total power
Control
over
over
me.
it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't have it. It
Yeah.
tried. And it still tries.
Yeah.
It's still I have to live every day of my life not to go back because I have 5 felonies, bro. My record is bad. So any little thing I do right now can easily throw me back, A
But God is
car,
good.
anything. So I live my life very careful now
Yeah.
because it's like walking on eggshells.
Eggshells. Yeah.
And
No, but
sad,
that-
but that's my reality. That's
Yeah.
my choices.
Yeah.
And so I don't throw my blame on nobody. Those are the choices, like my health. The decisions of my youth, smoking PCP and doing cocaine and heroin and all that. You think that didn't give me cancer at 45? Of course it did. And liver failure and all these other things. But like, I'm gonna live my life until I don't have no life left, bro.
Yeah.
And that's it.
What keeps you? Because obviously ignite. I don't know if you notice the why. The why means like your purpose. What's your purpose? Why? Or why do you do what you do? What keeps you ignited right now? Because you're going through so much, bro. Me.
I
and the
want to know
hernia
what it
didn't
is,
even-
bro. Honestly,
Imagine.
is that
What keeps that going? That fire.
I want to
bro?
leave something. That way, after I'm long and gone, people can see what I did, bro. So I got a museum. I got a whole room of artifacts that I collected of stuff throughout California from different. I have museums give me artifacts now because they're like, oh, you got a museum? And that's one thing museums do. They share stuff with each other.
Stuff with-
And because I consider myself a museum, bro, I have stuff from the Native Americans. I have historical stuff. I have rocks from places that are like protected. I have musical instruments. I have cowboy belt buckles. I have bullets from like the 1800s. I have all this cool stuff that are historical. So when I'm gone and I have my little mic right there and my chains. They're gonna be like, look at what this fool did. That he went and he just showcased California for you guys. So whoever thinks that they can't, he did. And I have cancer and 5 felonies and a track record this big of nothing good, bro. But I don't look at that. I look at like,
God doesn't look at that, brother.
like what can I leave behind that will educate and bring more people and hopefully persuade somebody to carry what I did, because somebody did it. Hugh Hauser did it for me, bro. Some man, a white man from Tennessee, PBS, social media, on public television.
Yeah.
And I used to watch him when I was in prison. He took me all over California, and I just picked up where he died of cancer 10 years, 12, 13 years ago. And I picked up where he left off because nobody did. No, I couldn't believe that nobody picked up where he left off, bro. And so when I got out of prison, I didn't do it right away. It took me like 5, 6, 7 years because I was on dope. But once I sobered up, I just said, you know what? What's my purpose here? I said, I always wanted to pick up where he left off. And so I did. I got me a little mic and I got me a social media, and I started at zero just like everybody else, bro. And I didn't care about who followed me, and I didn't care about who liked me, and I just pushed my story and my message, and el que quiera, quiera, y el que no, well, God bless you, because I can't, bro. And so I don't live my life trying to please nobody, bro. I try to leave something behind, something good. And that's it.
Leaving something good behind, brother. And you are.
Leaving something good behind.
You are.
That's it. You know?
Thank you, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for
Thank you, brother.
us and with
Thank
me.
you.
It is my hope that through today's episode that you learn from not only Ahmed but myself that your past doesn't have to equal your future. And just because you were in fights and mean and all this crazy stuff and you thought you had to be that way, that you had to carry that on for the rest of your life, you don't. Kindness, love, Jesus, God
Amen.
covers everything else. So God bless. See you guys next time.